Thanks for coming, everyone, as well. Maha back there as well. I want to show you how to live an extraordinary life, build your dream physique, and become financially free. And what we're going to focus on today, I know we've had the information about taxes, how to actually save as much as you can, the information about how to scale your business, but I want to show you actually how to build the extraordinary life and build your dream physique. Because because at the end of the day, putting yourself in the best position to earn the most money is the best thing you can do, and I'll go into why. But before we start, who here wants to make more money? Put your hand up. So everyone wants to make more money. Good, otherwise I'd be concerned while you're at the mastermind. Who here wants to get in better shape? Everyone, including Will. Okay, and who here would feel genuinely satisfied with themselves if they were making great money but looked like this in the mirror? No one. So just to be clear, everyone here wants to make more money, be in great shape, but if they did one without the other, they wouldn't generally be happy with who they are. Cool. Let's move on. And what I want to show you is I've done a few masterminds before, and the one in Marbella I did exactly all these things and this with fitness that you can do. What I want to show you today is the key, which is the mind, and I'll get into that in the future. But what I want to start with is I've transformed over 200 guys. I've done over 2,000 coaching hours, and I've had 5 years plus of training knowledge. I started out actually doing one-to-one training in person, realized that it only offers a portion of what you actually need to get in amazing shape and be the person you want to be. So I actually transformed online. And during this whole process, I've won a natural bodybuilding competition and actually become the pure elite champion or whatever it is. I get invited to America all the time to do bodybuilding competitions. I ran a marathon with zero training a few weeks after my bodybuilding competition because I decided I wasn't doing enough, and I got satisfied. I won a boxing match by first round knockout. I did 100k ultra running, swim and climb, and not only did I do 100k, I also climbed it was the hardest peak of Hong Kong. There's 5 peaks in Hong Kong, ultra runs. The 6th one is the only one that you're not allowed to do. It's not race legal because it's kind of dangerous. You have to like climb waterfalls and stuff like that, and it's the first one that I went into, and I did it with only preparing the night before. I forgot all water stations, sun cream, my back was bleeding during the run, and I had to drink out of like pools on the floor. So when it comes to mindset, I feel like I know a thing or two. I also ran, whilst I was working a job, a Spartan race, and I've scaled my business to multiple 6 figures a year. And today's mission is to transform your body and achieve peak performance in the next 90 to 180 days. Who feels like this will be useful for them? Okay, cool, everyone, awesome. And who this is for? So the people this is for is if you're in your 20s and you've tasted online business success, you've earned your first bit of money from business online. You're driven to build an empire, stand out from the crowd, and surround yourself with elite A players. You want your dream body, the dream partner, and the actual discipline to dominate all areas of your life. Put your hand up if this sounds like you. Okay, cool. Do not put your hand up?
I just got confused a little.
Confused, okay.
No problem.
Oh, cool. And Will, what part of this do you feel like feels like you the most?
I'm in my 20s, I've tasted my first bit of online business success, and I literally am driven to build an empire of all these guys here. I want the dream body, dream partner, and the discipline to dominate, like everything that says on there.
Awesome, okay, cool. And the first thing I want to go over is like, there's 58 million millionaires in the world, and there's more millionaires every single week. Would you agree or disagree that one of these multi-millionaires owns a bigger business than you, has a busier schedule than you, and is in better shape than you? Put your hands up if you agree. Okay, so we all agree that there's millionaires out there that have busier schedules than you, more to do than you, but they're in better shape than you. So then, would you say that we can all agree then, we all have the opportunity and the potential to be in the best shapes of our lives whilst making more and more money? Yeah? Tough crowd. Okay, so the next part is, why is it so important to focus on yourself and not just the business? So the way I look at this, and I'll show you this more, but one quote from Charlie Morgan that I think sums it up a little bit is success requires focus and energy. And if you look at the online space now, in the center you have the founder, you have that Formula One driver, and you have the system, the system that you actually do that with. The method, which is the model. Let's say you do one-to-one consultancy for coaches, for fitness coaches. You help dentists get more appointments. You have the method, or you do marketing for this or SMA for this. And everyone has the system. There's so much information out online. There's so many gurus online. There's $100 million leads. There's Alex or Mosey. We all know what it is to actually scale that thing. And we all have the resources. Would you all agree that you can start a business now online for $0? Would you agree with that, Maha? Yeah, okay. you look like your dad to a second. So, and then Tony Robbins puts, the higher your energy level, the more efficient your body is, the better you feel, and the more you will use your talent to produce outstanding results. So basically, the higher energy you are, the more efficient your body is, the more you can actually use your body to achieve outstanding results. So the way that I like to look at this is, I don't know if you've seen this thing here, but this is Iman Gadzi, and they've basically all got the same video as Iman Gadzi. Like, what I'm trying to point out about here is that the information to build the business is readily accessible. And the way that I like to look at it is, the business is the Formula One car. The model is the frame of the car, the strategy is the steering wheel, and the resources is the fuel that pushes it forward. And we all have the opportunity to have this Formula One car. But the reason why you guys are sitting here today is because you're the founder and you're actually driving the car as you should. But if you put a granny in the Formula One car, what do you guys think is going to happen? Crash, brake.
Forget she's in it.
See what?
She might forget she's in it.
She forgets she's in it, which will probably cause a crash, or she'll be slow. And this is what I mean. We all have this car that we can drive. We all have the strategy, the resources. Even when I paid for a business coach, and it's a large amount, I'm helping him help me implement those things. I'm helping him give me the confidence to put those things into place. But a lot of the things I did, I knew what to do in the first place. And if we all have the car, then it comes down to the driver. And if we put Rory McIlroy in a Formula One car, what's going to happen?
He's going to cook.
He's going to cook, exactly. He's going to absolutely shred it. And if we put Rory McIlroy in, Rory McIlroy, what am I, a golfer? I don't know where I got him from. Lewis Hamilton. Let's put a Formula One driver in a Formula One car. Even Rory McIlroy would cook in a Formula One car. But anyway, let's say we put we put Lewis Hamilton in a Fiat 500. What's going to happen then? He's going to drive but not as fast, right? He's still going to make some pace. He's still going to go around that racetrack. If we put the granny in the Fiat 500, what's going to happen?
Slow.
It's going to be super slow, yeah. And she might even crash, depends on how old the granny is. So even if you have the worst framework, even if you have the worst business model, if you're an excellent founder that can put in a lot of inputs, you will still get the framework, the strategies that you have around the racetrack. So strategy, this is a quote from Alex or Mosey. Strategy is easy, execution is hard. Who agrees with this? What makes you agree with this, Scott?
So a perfectly applicable example to this. So me and Maher just spent some time earlier today building out his funnel, and we were racking our brains on it, and it took some time. And I looked at him, I was like, you know what? This is the easy part. The hard part is going to be actually going out and, building out the fucking website, building out the copy, making a compelling ad campaign to push traffic over to. You could sit here and theorize all day, but doing it is the hard part.
And who's going to be in charge of doing it?
You are.
Yeah,
The owner is.
Yeah, so you and Maher, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, as the founder, are going to be in charge of executing.
Right.
And even though you have the strategy, and you could probably use ChatGPT to create the strategy for you, if you don't do the execution, if you don't actually get in the race car as a Formula One driver, you're never actually going to make that strategy work.
Yep.
Cool, that's a really cool example, Scott. And Charlie Morgan also says, you're not trying to build a business, you're trying to build a character. You aren't trying to build $1 million business, you're trying to build the person who can build $1 million business. So an excellent founder equals money. You have Alex Hormozi talks about inputs. Chris Williamson, who just kept going even though his podcast wasn't getting many views. He knew the method, he knew the strategy. You post regularly online with a podcast interviewing someone. Yet he kept going and he kept pushing to make it better. And then you have Andy Elliott, who is just a crazy fucking guy, always puts in effort. If your company isn't growing, it's dying. Like, how many of you would agree with this as well? Yeah, pretty much most of you. Because at the end of the day, if it's not growing, then you're going to be outgrown whether you like it or not. Like, most of us have similar businesses to most people around here, especially in the online space. There's a lot of coaches coaching coaches. There's a lot of fitness coaches. I'm not the only fitness coach out there. I'm one of hundreds, well, hundreds, probably fucking millions. And if your company isn't growing, if you're not becoming better, you're going to be becoming worse just by the fact that everyone else around you is getting better. So what creates an excellent founder? Because if we know that we all have the model, we have the frameworks and stuff, we have that racing car, and even if we don't have that racing car, it's still possible to get it around the track, as long as the founder is excellent. How do we create an excellent founder? And another quote by Alex Hormozi, I'm absolutely ripping these out. I didn't know how many of these I put in, but confidence without evidence is delusion. You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Give yourself so much goddamn proof that you are the version of yourself that you want to be, and you'll become them. And the reason why this quote is so important is it massively ties into our self-belief system. And I'll ask you this, Will. Do you feel like the actions you take outside of your business impact the actions that you take within your business?
Yeah.
And in what way?
Because it's a reflection of me. Like you said, I am the captain of my own ship. So if I make the wrong maneuver, it's going to sink.
Exactly, man. And that pulls us into the self-belief system. What you do within your business, what you do within your life, it's all tied together. The founder now is the most important thing, especially with the type of business models we run where we're at the center. And if that's the case, your body can't decide the difference between you taking actions within your personal life and you taking the actions of your business. Your brain doesn't have different neural pathways that just suddenly separate completely for your business and for your personal life. It's just a big mesh of all of these things that all are in your life. So if you're not taking the actions within your daily life and you're not stacking undeniable proof that you are who you say you are, that you are the person that gets in shape, as you all mentioned, you want to be that man. If you're not the person that actually treats your personal life serious, the relationships you have, you all said you relate to having actually a partner that you have a strong connection with and your dream partner. If you're not actually putting any effort towards that, then you're not actually stacking the proof that you are the man you say you are. And that comes down to what you eat, when you train. If you decide to skip that workout to put more effort on the business, even though you know if the business makes great money and you're in the worst shape of your life, you will not be satisfied and you will not be happy. So when it comes to the self-belief system, it's all interlinked. If you build a self-belief system in one area of your life, it's going to allow you to put more of that self-belief system in another area of your life. And what this shows is basically a common way to destroy your self-belief system, and this stacks, it gets worse and worse and worse, is you make a promise to yourself. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. You break that promise to yourself. Oh, I've had 10 client meetings come up. I can't go to the gym tomorrow. Okay, you feel ashamed that you made that promise. The end of the day comes, you've had these 10 client meetings, maybe you had a few sales calls that you didn't close because it wasn't the day that you wanted it to be. You then feel anxious that you're not going to actually do that. Like, oh man, like I didn't go to the gym today. You've stacked 4 days of that in the week. You've got 3 left. You can't complete the workouts you said you were going to do. Time goes by and you repeat it. You make the same promise to yourself. You say, okay, this week I'm going to go to the gym today, do X, Y, Z. Yet other stuff comes up and you break that promise. And what starts happening is, let's say I say to Will, let's go for coffee tomorrow at 10, and I don't show up. If I do that every day for 2 weeks, when I say, let's go for coffee tomorrow at 10, on the 3rd week, are you going to show up? No. And people stop showing up for themselves because they're not showing up for themselves in their personal life, and it means you'll stop showing up for yourself in your business life. The time you wake up affects the time you start work. It's all interlinked here, guys, and this is what I want to get into. So, I want to go into the 5 key strategies to never break a promise to yourself. This is going to be a short mastermind because we're actually quite close to the end already. And who feels like knowing the 5 key strategies to never break a promise to yourself will be valuable to them? Why do you feel like it's valuable to me? Pass in the mic, man. Let's get some mic action going.
Well, if you always adhere to the promise you make to yourself, and if you set it at a time when there's no emotion attached, and you set the correct promises, you then can design your ideal life.
Yeah.
Get what you want in all aspects, really.
Yeah, 100%. I massively agree with that. And a big thing, like a few of the things you said with that, actually come into how to set the right promises to yourself. Because if you can set promises to yourself, you can keep them. You get the opposite of how to destroy your self-belief system. You make a promise to yourself. You keep that promise to yourself. You feel less and less anxious that you can't achieve what you can achieve, and you become more and more confident that you can achieve what you say you're going to achieve. And then time goes by and you achieve more success, and those stack of undeniable wins, those stack of promises that you've said to yourself and keep, make you feel stronger and stronger, and your self-belief system goes up. If I say to Will on the opposite, I'm going to meet him for coffee at 10, and I'm there at 9:58 or 9:55 with a coffee waiting, he's going to be like, oh man, this guy's serious, like, he's meeting me for coffee at 10. Every time I do that and the coffee's waiting, I'm there early, he's going to be really strong. He's going to have this strong opinion in his head that when Ned says he's going for coffee at 10, he's going to be there at 10. And that is going to make him more confident to turning up for that coffee. And it's just like you with yourself. If you say to yourself, I'm going to get up at 7, and you actually generally get up at 7, do that over a week, a month, 2, 3, 4 months. Eventually you're going to know you're going to get up at 7. It's not going to be an issue. And then you know that if you want to start putting a habit within your business that every day you do a team call, you know you're going to do that team call because you know you can get up every day at 7, and you know that all the other actions you take are ones that you keep. So one of the things is make fewer and stronger commitments. And this is a massive key thing. And I did a reel about this, but one way I like to look at it is imagine your life is like a swimming pool. And it sounds really weird. Your life is like a swimming pool and you've got all the water in the swimming pool. You have a sack of seeds on your back, and Maher's nodding his head, he's heard me say this. You have a sack of seeds on your back of all the trees you can plant. But you only have a certain amount of water, and you have one watering can you can use per day. You can plant as many seeds as you like. You can plant as many trees as you want. But if you actually want to grow some big trees, if you want to have some big jungle ash trees, you need to focus on planting the trees that you generally want. And planting too many seeds, if you've got 50 seeds that you're planting today, not only are you not going to be able to give each one enough water every single day so that some might die, over the course of your lifetime, as you're using up your water, which is the pool, you're not going to be able to give enough water to the ones that you generally want to grow. If you're focused on watching that Netflix series, going to the gym, building a better network, whilst spending more time with your family, whilst traveling more, whilst learning Spanish on Duolingo, whilst also making sure that you're challenging your brain with mathematics. I don't know, well, I actually stick to the similar things every day because I do what I say that I do on this thing. So I literally just do the main things that move me forward. But if you're doing too many things per day, you're watering too many trees, you're not going to have any trees to grow. So a big thing is to think about what actually is important to you. So for Will, for example, we can say, I can clearly kind of see the few things that are important to him. Number 1 is his network. The actual brothers around him is hugely important to him. Number 2 is his business. Number 3 is his physique. We speak about that quite a lot. Number 4 is like girls seems quite important to you, but you spend time on it, man. So like, if it's not important to you, it's a tree you shouldn't plant. And number like 5 for you, I feel like actually is your wisdom. For example, you like your stoic wisdom. And you need to think about, okay, what else am I doing? What other seeds am I planting every single day that aren't so important to me? That means that I can take more water from this watering can that I have and put those to those. Because imagine if you figured out that you actually had 10 more other small things, which you're only given a bit of water, but it's not water that's actually going to move you to where you want to go.
That's why I stopped learning Spanish daily.
Yeah, stop learning Spanish daily. But there'll also be many things, and it's hard for me to just say these out loud because you actually generally have to look into your life. And one way that I like to do that, I just came off a call with a client and I said, look at all these social media apps you're using. Write down exactly what you're using them each for, and you'll figure out which ones you actually need for business, which ones you actually need to for like personal connections and which ones you're just using for the sake of it. Because you might feel like you're catching up with friends on Instagram, but if you're just sending each other's reels to consume, are you really catching up with them? Or are you just better off just meeting them and actually seeing how they're doing at the time? So this is really important. Make fewer and strong commitments. And the way you can do this is actually write out what is important to you, what the 2.0 version of you looks like and 1.0 version of you looks like, where it is that you want to get to. So who is it that you want to be? What character traits does he have? What's he look like? What's his life look like? And then look backwards on there. What actions does he need to take? And then you'll figure out what he needs. Like if the version of you is in really good shape, he has a really like solid wife, for example. He's in a big house and he owns a big business that doesn't require much time. You know that you've got to have a massive focus on your business to build a business that in the future you can spend less time on. You need to manage your wealth, so you need to have a focus on actually how you can improve your savings and all those sort of things which comes into the business. You need to have a focus on actually like building yourself to be a good partner, not just looking for the right partner, but what attributes creates a healthy relationship. And you need to focus on also like getting in amazing shape, for example. And you can just put all your water onto those seeds. The next thing, it's more of a Charlie Morgan vibe if any of you guys have watched this, but attaching pain to breaking it. This is actually really, really important. If you attach a lot of pain to breaking something, you'll do well. For example, Will, when you do a fight leading up, how important is it for you that you train for that fight? Use the mic.
It's incredibly important because it gets you physically prepared, but it also gives you the confidence knowing that you've not cut any corners and that you're going into the fight the best possible version that you could have brought to the table.
And with the fight, do you want to win?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you want to win, man. And not training, what does that guarantee?
Not training or not giving 100% means that you're not going to be turning up 100% and you're giving the other guy the opportunity to win because he's been putting in the work.
Yeah, 100%. You're allowing that other person to win. And the reason why people train so much for the fight is like, if everyone was watching and this was a fight that you said you were going to win and that you knew you were going to win, but then you didn't train for it at all, how do you feel if you lost in front of everyone?
You feel embarrassed, but you'd also be bearing the guilt that you didn't do what you knew you could have done. My coach put it perfectly when he used to say, if you fail to prepare, then you're preparing to fail.
Exactly, that's a perfect quote. And like attaching, the reason why that has pain to it is when you do a fight, you know that everyone's gonna watch. You know that you either win or you lose. You either do well or you don't, and everyone's gonna see it. And you have the pain of not winning in front of all your friends. And that's why you train so hard. You have the pain of getting knocked out or something happening, which is why you train so hard and you take the actions you need to take. So with your business, with the gym, with whatever you wanna actually improve on, attach some pain to breaking it. If you wanna get up at 7 in the morning, what's happening if you don't get up at 7 in the morning? Because if there's no reason for you to not do it, you're just not going to do it. It's not going to be an issue. If not doing 30K every single month has pain to it, you're going to need to get to 30K a month because you're going to feel fucking awful being below it. If not training 4 times a week has pain attached to it, you're going to train 4 times a week. Because if your mum needed £10,000 every single week to survive, because she had to pay hospital bills, I bet you guys, being resourceful, intelligent guys that you are, which is why you're here now, would be able to earn £10,000 every single week to provide for your mum. And that's because there'd be so much pain attached to it that you would never let anything get in the way of it because you just could not lose. So put yourself in a position where losing just kind of isn't an option and attach a lot of pain to it. And it sounds bad, but because you have that pain, even though you might go through a month or 2 months of like, fuck, this is shit because I'm not achieving it, you will 100% get there because it's like not an option. You can't feel, as soon as you get too satisfied is when you get too comfortable, and when you're too comfortable, you're not going to be hungry for change. And there's this whole thing where you're a mouse and you've got a cat chasing you and you're chasing the cheese. It's important to chase the cheese, but it's also important to have a cat chasing you. And I'm sure when you guys first started this, you had more of a cat chasing you. You were more like, I need to get out of the situation I'm in. Like, I don't like where I'm at right now in my life. I need to change something. You hit the 10K a month, you can move to Thailand. Stuff can be more chill. Like, you can do this, you can do that. Like, I can speak to women, they think I'm cool now, like, because I've got some money behind me. But where's that cat gone? Now you're just chasing the cheese. And do you feel like if I come in and I've got a cat chasing me where I can't stop, but I'm also going for a whole nother level where I need to be at this cheese, am I going to beat you when you're just chasing the cheese? every single day, man. So build some sort of cat so that you can chase the T stronger. And that's if you genuinely want to be successful. If you want to chill out and you just want to go to Thailand with 5 to 10K a month, then you don't need the cat, just chill. But if you actually genuinely want to continue leveling up, you need to make sure you're building the cat. And the next thing is identity over motivation. And this one's really important. Like, for example, simple identity thing is we identify, and Scott identifies himself as the automations guy. Like, when I think of Scott now, I know from what everyone's spoken about you, you're fucking killer at automations. And in your head, you know that you're killer at automations. You'll know that you're the guy that if someone comes to you with their business, you can set up an automation that's gonna help them be more successful. Is that true? Yeah, and you have that identity in your head, right? So your identity is key. How you identify yourself is how you're going to become successful, because at the end of the day, like I spoke about at the beginning, is your mindset determines everything. If you have the mindset that you can only earn 5K a month, are you going to hit 15K a month? No, you're never going to hit 15K a month. But if you have the mindset that you truly deserve 50, 100K a month, and that you genuinely deserve to be there, and if you're not there, all this pain's attached to it, but this is where you should be because this is where your life is destined to be, are you going to then get there? Yeah, 100% you're going to get there. And your identity massively matters. I identify myself as the guy that generally pushes himself super hard. And if any time he gets comfortable, he steps out of that comfort zone, which is why after I did my bodybuilding competition, life got easy for me. I was the guy at uni who'd done a bodybuilding competition, was making a bit of money online, 3 to 5K, not much, but on the side of uni, like, I felt like the guy. So I called my mate up and said, let's run, who was training for a marathon, super good runner in the army. And I hadn't done any running. I had Air Forces. The only training I did for the run was a 2K run in Air Forces. The shoes arrived the same day as the run because I decided I've got too comfortable. What's going to push me out of this zone? I called up my mate, said, let's run on Thursday. Can you plan the track? Because obviously you can't just find a marathon in 2 days. We just ran a marathon on Thursday. Because my identity is attached to the version of me that I step out of my comfort zone, which is why I started doing Muay Thai. I became too comfortable in the gym. It became easy for me to go in the gym, lift weights hard, put a bit of muscle on, this, that. So I decided, okay, I'm not comfortable actually getting kicks. I've done some boxing. Getting kicks makes me feel flinchy. I'm going to do Muay Thai. Let's actually start that. So your identity is so key, which is why one thing that I do with a lot of guys I train, we create their master vision. Knowing who you are now, what is the version of you that you are now, what are your characteristics, what do you believe in, what do you identify with, and who is the version of you in the future? How much does he earn? What does he dress like? What does he look like? What do people think of him when he comes into the room? What are his character traits? Because just like Charlie Morgan said, you're trying to build the man that builds the business. You're not trying to build the business that builds the man. So, touch the premier break it. The next thing is daily non-negotiables. This is a really simple one. So for example, if you know that you need to take creatine to get in better shape, have that non-negotiable there. I take creatine every day to get in shape. You can even split this quarterly. So this quarter one, like you do with the business, you can apply a lot of business stuff to personal life. Quarter one, I'm gonna be taking creatine every day, training 5 times a week, this is that. But having daily non-negotiables makes it really easy. One of my daily non-negotiables is that in the morning, I drink water. It is the most simple daily non-negotiable, but drinking water in the morning is one of the most important things you could do. It helps your body actually get back to its natural state, it helps your digestive system. Your body basically can't function without having water in its system because it's made out of water. So the easiest daily non-negotiable I can have is drink some water in the morning. And it means then when I drink coffee later, it's more effective. My adrenal system is in better action. Like simple daily non-negotiables. And you can think about what in your life you want that can be a daily non-negotiable. It might be a daily non-negotiable. Me and Maher were speaking about this the other day, and I've been thinking about putting this into my life. I tested it out, didn't really like it, so I didn't put it as a daily non-negotiable, but it might be something I'll do in the future. Meditating for 5 minutes. Because you might feel like your brain's unclear, you might feel like you're speaking too fast or not really paying attention to people properly or your life or your business properly. So you can put a daily non-negotiable in, I meditate 5 minutes every morning. And you don't want to overstack these. If you have a crazy morning routine, which is like, this is what I do every single morning, you're going to be easy to beat. Because as soon as you can't do that morning routine, you're not going to do what you need to do. But having daily non-negotiables that are just flexible, that you just do every day, might be 5 minutes of meditation. You can do that literally anywhere. You do that in the toilet of a flight. It might be drinking some water in the morning. You can ask the flight attendant for some water. Little things that you can literally do anywhere that aren't a really strict routine are going to massively help you not just move forward, but also improve your self-belief system. Because they're easy, because they're extremely doable, it's like easy little pointers which be like, okay, I've done that, boom, self-belief system increase. I've done what I said I was going to do. So that's actually a massive one for your mindset, and it's really simple. The next one is track everything. And when I say track everything, we've spoken about here in terms of not doing everything. We're not trying to do this, that, the whole world. We're trying to build on the things that we generally want to build on. And just like you track within your business, like imagine, Mahal, I'll ask this to, he can't get the mic. But what happens, someone pass the mic to Mahal. What happens if you don't track any data when running ads?
You can't identify the problem.
Yeah, you can't identify the problem. And then what is the result of that?
You will either not see that you have a problem, or you will try to guess what the problem is, and you won't solve it.
Okay.
Because you can't see it.
And what happens if you try and guess what the problem is when you go to fix it?
Most likely you will make the wrong guess.
Exactly. And this is why we go back to track everything. One thing that I do is I have a daily progress tracker. I actually track what I've done, what my intention is for the day, and if I followed that intention. Because if I don't know what I'm doing within the day, if I don't know what my intention is for the day, then how can I actually look back on the month and see if I've put in the actions I need to take? Because we're all going to have months where the business doesn't go as well. But you need to see, okay, was this the fact that external things, and have I actually put in the things that I need to do, or is this down to me? And if you haven't got any tracking, you don't know what you need to change. You don't know, okay, this team member's not doing well. Okay, actually, when I look back on the tracking, I said to myself my energy levels were at 4 that day. I said to myself that I didn't eat right that day. I didn't wake up early that day. But that's the day I seem to always have this team call. Okay, maybe actually it's not this team member that's not performing well. Maybe I'm not training them the way that I promised. Maybe that I'm not delivering my side of the business the way that I said I would. And that's one of the ways you build a strong team, is you show up the way that you want them to show up. The next thing is make it easy. Even with your tracking, make the fucking tracker easy. Don't make it this complex ass major thing where you're like inserting all these things. Like, I let's just have drop downs. I go click, 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 click. I track how much I've earned in the month to date. And then basically that's all I do. I just go through, click some stuff, and I can look back, see where I was at that day. And for example, you take supplements every day. Don't go fucking storing it in your garden shed where you've got to go outside, put your shoes on, go to the shed, open it up, grab your supplements, go inside, put it in your supplement shaker, and then drink it. Where do you drink in the morning? Where do you get water? Okay, you go to the sink, put your supplements behind the sink. Okay, when you have your glass of water in the morning, you grab your supplements, you have your water, they're right there. It's easy to do. Make stuff as easily accessible for you as possible. If you put the chocolate bar by your sofa where the remote is, are you going to be more likely to eat that chocolate bar when you're watching a film? Yeah, of course. But if you pre-cook or pre-order the healthy food so that it's there waiting for you when you've finished a business meeting and you've got half an hour, are you going to be more likely to eat the healthy food? Yeah, of course. If you put into your calendar an hour and a half to train, are you going to be more likely to train? Yeah, because you've made it easy for yourself. You've made it so that you're not overlapping stuff, so that you don't have to think, oh, I need to train today, where can I fit it in? It's about making it easy, because the easier you can make it, the more likely you're going to stick at it. And discipline isn't about pushing yourself and making it super hard for yourself, but doing it anyway. Discipline is actually just about doing stuff for a long enough period of time where you've done what you said you were going to do. And one of the best ways to do that is the easier you can make it, the more you can stick to what you say you're going to do. So, any questions? I'll give myself a round of applause then. Does anyone have any questions? Or have I...
Just one thing with the tracking. Just
Awesome.
All right, it's on. It's ready to go.
So what are you using to tracking? Are you using like a spreadsheet, Notion doc?
Yeah, I just literally use a Google Sheet. So Google Sheet, really, really simple. On Google Sheets, you can have stuff where you tick it. For example, at the end of my Google Sheet, it just says, is stuff on charge? Like, is everything on charge? Because then you can wake up and make sure that your phone's charged, your laptop's charged, makes life 10 times easier. Like, this wasn't charged before, but I charged it during the whole night. So even if there wasn't a charger here, this would have been fine to just finish this off. So like, and then I can just tick that and make sure that I do that before I go to sleep. And like the first panel, for example, will be, I have like multiple sheets within it. The first panel will just be like daily things, like workout, this, and that, so that I can just go on, click workout done for the day. I just do it at the end of the day, boom, boom, boom. So I can just quickly look on my Google Sheet and just see, have I got up at this time? Have I done a workout? Have I done this, that? And it might seem a bit like, oh, that's like too much. But if you generally want to go really far in life, sometimes you have to be a bit over the top. The only reason we're all here is because we're different to everyone else. And what most people don't do is they don't track what they're doing most days. So if you could just do something else that allows you to be better than the average person, you're taking more steps away from the average and you're going more to the fucking elite, I guess. And then in that, I then have another thing, which is like my daily intention. To set a daily intention, for example, I have this thing called a warm app. I didn't create this, it's another guy that created it, but you can, let's say, in the day, you want to focus on team calls, you want to focus on getting your ads set up, and you want to focus on an Instagram automation. Your daily intention would be basically calls and funnels. Like, your daily intention is just what you're doing that day. It's just a summary of it, basically. And then like, okay, you actually look on the day, you need to follow it. And one thing that you'll do is then every day you'll have on your progress tracker, have I built my have I audited my calendar? And then because of the progress tracker, you then audit the calendar and then make sure that you know what you're going to do that day so you can go and do it.
Beautiful.
Does that
Awesome.
explain it?
Yeah, 100%.
I can send you the
Perfect.
progress tracker if you want, bro.
Yeah, beautiful. That'll be awesome, bro.
No
Cheers.
worries, man. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'll give one a go.
So I think something that I've struggled with recently since the business has really picked up is I'm constantly having to make time sacrifices for friends, for gym, for relationships, and it's shitty. And then when I go through arcs where it's like, all right, I need to like, spend some time with the lads, like obviously not like fuck all, but just some genuine connection with friends, my girlfriend, or not going to the gym, start going to the gym more, then the business suffers. I know this is at a high level, but do you have any advice for how I can try to find or seek balance throughout, the chaos?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it's a really good question. I think it's something that people struggle with, and that's more like actually down to logistics of things. It's a mix actually. It's a big thing down to like your mindset, because if you know exactly, you have a master vision, you're really clear where you want to go, where you're at now, why you want to go where you want to go, you're going to find it more easy to prioritize the things that you want to prioritize, because you're going to have a really clear understanding on why you're under prioritizing them, so you're going to feel less guilty. One thing that you get is guilt when you don't understand why you're taking the actions you need to take, where you don't feel like you're missing out as much when you know that this is where you're going and this is why you're doing that. But the other thing I would say is, like, for example, you can massively strip that down. So if you're not finding much time to do things, like, you can easily find a 3-day workout program that still allows you to make the progress that you want, but just make sure you set clear intentions for yourself. Because if you're not, and you're saying you don't know whether you train 3 or 5 times a week, then you're gonna, just like we looked at, destroy your self-belief system, and you're gonna start feeling negative about that. Because every single person, they have all these things that they have to fill, all these desires. Every individual has all these desires that they want to fill. Like, it might be fucking sex, it might be like going to the gym, or like feeling like a man, it might be earning money and splashing cash. Like, you have all these desires naturally, everyone has different amounts of them, and you have to satisfy the desires. Otherwise, they're just going to grow and grow and grow. But you can satisfy them in different ways. For example, Will might have had the desire to have better friendships when he was younger. And actually, I know kind of a little bit about that from the podcast. And he's massively satisfied that by building a business that allows him to do that. And what you can figure out is what those desires are, and then start to figure out ways to satisfy it in ways that actually works with where you want to go. So like, your desire might be to be in really good shape and shredded. You can do that 3 days a week if you don't want to be a huge, like, massive bodybuilder. So then you can be like, okay, actually that works for me. I can be shredded in really good shape on 3 days a week. cool, I'll do that. Like your might be that I want to have a really good partner and a close friendship group. So actually it sounds brutal, but you can look at who are the actual people you really close with that you get on the best. Focus on those and focus on your partner. And I think that comes from the prioritization of that. Because you do fucking loads, man. Like you're working a full-time, like well-paid job, and you're like insane at automations, and you've got a growing business with that because you're good at it. So it's a lot.
Thank you. Good advice.
Nah, no problem, man. Any other questions? Yeah, awesome. Can we pass the... I love the zins right there. Will's always got them on him.
Rightio, mate. So you mentioned something there, right, in terms of attaching pain to breaking something. Now, I think we're all men here. We all go through our daily pains, you know, things like that. I guess when it comes to finding that pain, is there a right kind of pain to find? Is it a case of just sitting on the side of your bed for half an hour and figuring it out? Do you have to try and manufacture the pain, or do the little pains, again, the paper cuts?
Yeah.
How do you...
That's a really fucking good question, actually, man, because the pain that you create is massively different. When you're younger, for example, for me, like, I definitely got, not bullied, but like I was definitely a bit of an outcast when I was in school, which created huge pain for me, man. I was like, I cannot be like this. I had some really close friends, but then I had some people that weren't, and I wanted to build the respect, for example, that meant that I didn't have that as much. Like I didn't just want to be this guy that was doing nothing with his life and just complaining about it. So I had so much pain to get out of there. But now I'm in a position where these guys, a lot of them look up to me now, message me for advice, like want to go out with me. Flies absolutely eating me, but and now that means that I can get satisfied and I can just like chill out, because that desire of me that used to be really like wanting to solve that has been satisfied. So I need to think about what the next pain is for me, or what the next goal is for me. And for example, I know my next goal, I'm going to buy my mum a Jeep, and I know the exact Jeep, I know the color, the model, and I want to buy it for her next birthday. So I know the goal, and then the pain for me is that when I'm below, well, I'm not going to go, basically I've attached the pain for me that when I'm below 20K a month in my revenue, that actually basically it kind of links back to the whole thing of when I was younger, that I'm not fulfilling on the things that it is kind of a complicated thing that I have all down in my master vision, but it comes down to, yeah, I guess I've created the pain. It comes down to me not being the man that actually steps up and changes stuff for my brother, for example, and actually like helps the people that I want to help. And because I'm really clear on where I want to go, it means I can create that pain. But you could do it even where you say to your mum, like, do you want to go, like, I'm going to take you on holiday in I don't know, December, and you plan a really extravagant holiday with your mum. Bro, that's a big goal, and you can also have that as your cheese and your cat, because the cheese is you're going to take your mum on this holiday, it's going to be amazing. But the cat is every day you need to earn this amount of money, and that if I'm not earning 35K a month, I'm not justified to take my mum on that holiday. So that I need to actually be in that position every single month to take my mum on that holiday. Or next month I'm going to take my mum on that holiday. And if I haven't done 30K that month, or I haven't trained this many times that month, I'm not going to take my mum on that holiday. And it's a bit brutal. I would also try, especially in the earlier days, attaching the pain to the actions, not always the outcome. Because sometimes if you attach it to an outcome, it can be things out of your like potential. Like attaching it to, if you suddenly just say I'm going to earn 200K next month, yes, there's a possibility you can 100% do that. I've seen that happen with like people do massive 100K deals and stuff like that. But there's so many factors that go into that, it might not always be possible. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to do 200K in 2 years, and the pain you attach is the outcomes that you have to take each month, then that's different. You can attach pain of what you do in your life, of like what you allow yourself to do and all these sort of things, to you taking sort of actions. And then you can give yourself reward based on the fact that you take those actions instead of having the pain.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that sum it up a bit? It's a bit complicated.
No, it's all good. With the flies about me, I got it.
Yeah. The flies
Thank
are
you.
killing me as well, man.
We're getting crazy.
Yeah, they're eating me, man. Yeah. But pain is super important. Super important. A good way to do it as well is hit a point, and then instead of like having a pain of a goal, like hit a standard, so let's say you do 25k a month, or you start training 4 days a week, and have the pain come in as that baseline, so that if you're not doing that again, then you're falling below your baseline. So as someone that wants to build a business, get in shape, you're someone that wants to move forward. So that you know if your baseline is 20k a month and you're falling below your fucking baseline. And who does that make you? What does that do in terms of where you want to go? And you can kind of think of it like that. I would less like attach pain to goal, but even more importantly, attach pain to like a baseline. So if you've done 25k, that you shouldn't go below that. And it should be fucking painful for you to go below that. If you've like trained 4 times a week consistently and you've actually started making loads of progress, it should be painful for you to stop following a program that is actually consistent. So even if you switch to 3 days a week, at least you're consistent on a program. But if you've been consistent on a program before, you can 100% do it again. So you should be in pain from the fact that you're not following a baseline that you used to be able to follow. That's kind of how I set it for myself, really. Hope that's helpful, man. Any other questions? Probably non-pain related. Yeah?
Can I add something to pain-related things?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Hey, wait.
I'm in pain from these flies.
I made a deal on Twitter with my followers that if I will not send them a selfie of me going to the gym every day, the person that spots it, I will give him some money on PayPal. So that that makes me go to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally the reward thing of that. Like you can do that for sure. That comes back to like the whole thing with your mum in Greece. If I don't take these actions every day, I can't take my mum to Greece. I've just told my mum I'm taking her to fucking Greece, and then like now I'm not going to do it. That's painful, man. I don't want to get to the end of the month and not be able to take my mum to Greece. Like that is a goal that's achieved, but I can actually look at that and reverse that and write actually what the pain is I'm going to feel from not being able to do that. And it's such a small thing, it's a made up thing, but I'm telling you now, if you really build it out and you understand how it relates to your personality, of the fact that you want to be a provider for your mum, all this sort of stuff, you can build a shit ton of pain around that, which is going to make you like take the actions you need to take, which is cool. Awesome, guys. I feel like that's all the questions. Thanks for watching, or thanks for watching. No, but yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully it's helpful. Huh? Where can people find me? So on Instagram, Ned_Sainsbury Place, and on my YouTube. I'd say on my YouTube, it's Ned Sainsbury Place with no, you're pointing somewhere here on the screen, down here apparently. There's no bullshit on my YouTube, man. My YouTube, I'll post a video even if it's going to get 5 views if I know that it's going to be something that's going to change the person that watches its lives. So if you actually go to my YouTube, you actually watch some of that content, I promise you that it's going to impact you and it's going to help you. And if it doesn't, I'll do the exact same thing as mentioned here. I will PayPal you £100. If there's no impact, I will actually send you money because I know how powerful it is. Awesome.